and only Manny Torres. Manny, thanks for being here and being the awesome rock star professional you are.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I was waiting for another question or something. I was like, all right.
He has more of a delay than your average AI bot.
Right.
he he is AI. Just kidding. We're gonna have some fun today. So if you're tuning in, that's great. We will be getting started in just a moment. But as you know, it takes sometimes a little bit of time for people to show up. So while we're getting started, what I would request that you chat in is what is a goal you have for your quarter two? As you may be aware, hey, it's already the end of April. It's almost May now. Didn't quarter two start the beginning of April? Yes, it did. We were going to do this event earlier, but we do work with a lot of accountants, and some of the people we are working with, they go off into a tunnel during tax season. So we decided we were going to schedule this at a better time. Manny, how are things going in your spring thus far, your quarter two?
It's been busy, and as everyone knows, a lot of changes going on with AI. So, trying to stay on top of that and find ways to leverage that. So, kind of ties into our whole chat here today.
Yes, we want to get some focus and attention because unless you didn't realize, there's a revolution happening right now. It's happening. Some people are on the cutting edge. Some people don't even know. And some people are in the middle. That's where a majority of people are. We've been doubling down at the beginning of this whole year, working on uh, taking what we've gathered through the years. We put this framework together. We've documented it in our new book, The Amplified Advisor. And we have developed a process to simplify and scale integration. And we're going to go over that today. We're going to get started just a minute, one more minute. But if you haven't chatted in yet, I'm requesting that you chat in. What is a goal you have for your quarter two? Put it in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and get us started. Any final thoughts to share while we're getting going?
Just grab a pen and piece of paper because we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff here, and it's good to be able to jot those items down. Make sure if you haven't grabbed it already, grab that workbook that we've provided, and let's rock and roll.
Oh, yes. And you might be saying, what workbook? Manny, can you put the link to the workbook in?
Absolutely.
Right. So we're going to make sure that we got the workbook link in there. And if you aren't at a place where you can work through the workbook, that's okay. Do what you can. But if you are at a place where you can work through the workbook, then you're welcome to do that. So, welcome. In the next 60 minutes, we're going to move from AI curiosity to have a clear and focused plan. We're looking into quarter two, even though we're somewhat in it. And we have some objectives that we're looking to accomplish. Number one is identify where AI fits. So there's a lot of things you could use AI for, but we want to spot the highest leverage gaps in your business today. Then we're going to begin building a real plan. So what people are feeling right now is a little bit scared, a little bit overwhelmed. They're starting to get awareness of something, and then it changes before they even landed their plane. So we want to make sure that we have a real plan of how we can leverage it, not just today, but also for the future. And then we're going to commit to a next step action. It takes new actions to achieve new results. So we don't want to just listen to things today. We want to hear, sort out, and then make sure that you leave here with clarity and the next step action. Now, as you see, we are giving our new 40 AI playbook, which documents these steps. There's a checklist, there's actions you can follow, and stick to the end. We're going to make sure that we give you the ability to get that. It is complimentary to attendees. So don't feel like you need to take too many notes. You don't need to capture everything, but you do want to think through and jot through your ideas. Now, is this for you? Well, if you're a business owner and you're running a company and you want AI to free up your time, not add chaos, you want to empower your team, that's great. If you're an advisor or a consultant and you guide your clients, if you want to leverage AI for yourself, but also for them, you can use this framework as well. If you are part of a team, this is positioned that this will also be helpful for team members. A lot of the clients that we work with, business owners, they have team members. We work with their team members so that their team members are empowered to take new actions and achieve new results as well. So if this is you, you're in the right room. And if you need additional guidance or direction, that's okay. We're going to cover some things today. We're going to make it sure it's not just pressing buttons, but we want to make sure that you're being able to implement this in your business for transformation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little reflection. So this is where the workbook would be good to open it up. I'm going to just pop it open real quick. Hopefully that doesn't break anything. Don't break. Yeah, so this is what the workbook looks like. And this workbook is for this workshop. And you should be able to click the link and it should be able to copy. And then you can add in your notes here. But what I would want you to do is if you have trouble with the technical part, then don't get caught up with that. You could write it down on a piece of paper. All right. And I see get my new business off the ground. Way to go, Candy. Way to go. And Debbie Dangerfield, Superwoman, free up time to do advisory and clear the path to cash. Awesome. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to look in the past because we don't learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on our experience. And I want you to think over the past 90 days in quarter one, what is something that you're proud of? Think of something, maybe it's accomplishment that you moved forward. What is something that you're proud of? You can jot it down if you want to share. You're welcome to do that. Maybe we got a person chatting in. They do not see the workbook. On the flip side of the coin, where are you disappointed? Maybe something that you intended to do, or you wanted something to work out a particular way, but it didn't work out the way you want. We don't need to put a lot of judgment there, but we're just taking a moment to say, hey, this is something I feel like I made progress. I did well. Something that didn't work out the way I'd like. Right? So we're taking a moment to look in the past, and then we're going to take a moment to look in the present, right here, right now. What is something you're confident of? What do you feel like it's working for you? What do you feel like you have the knowledge and expertise that you feel, hey, I've got this? And where do you feel you may be lacking? Right? So we want to be confident. We want to be taking bold actions to achieve new results. And sometimes we need to identify where we lack so we can strengthen in those areas. And then now we're going to take a quick moment to look in the future. And what is something you're excited about? What is something that you're looking into the future and you're getting excited about, juiced? It's really motivating you. We tend to act and move when things are meaningful to us, when we could feel them. And then what is, if anything, is giving you doubt or uncertainty? You can identify it and you can solve for it. Right? So because we want to get to the planning part, we're going to keep this part really short. And I'll bring Manny back on for a brief moment. Maybe I will, if I'm clicking the right link. And we'll just talk a brief moment about this exercise and meaning, if you care to share something while people are wrapping up their thoughts, what do you care to share?
Yeah, this past, present, and future. I love this exercise because a lot of times you get caught up in the whirlwind of what's going on in your business. So when you slow down and can reflect, it can help you really identify what's going to be the biggest leverage moving forward. And one thing that when I'm looking back, I look for things that may have been, bottlenecks, challenges, or things that currently I'm not really confident about, and it helps me really direct where I'm putting my effort moving forward.
Thank you, Manny. All right, so we're going into some additional content as we're looking to plan ahead. And where will I go here? How about that? Right now, when it comes to AI, a lot of people have used it. They used it for some things. Some people have tried it, but it didn't stick. Some people are using it, but getting lost with it. AI is great at giving you ideas, but sometimes it gives you too many ideas. Sometimes it just keeps on putting stuff in your face and get lost. There's too many tools, too many changes. Some people don't have a clear plan on how they're using it to achieve their outcomes. And so they're maybe making progress here, maybe spinning wheels over here. And maybe their team is curious. Maybe they're using it. Maybe it's coming up with some solutions. Sometimes it comes up with what seems like good ideas. You probably have had clients that have used it, came up with some answers they thought was great. But then from your expertise, you could say, you're missing some components, right? So where we want to go is from AI tools to AI execution. So what we're doing today is planning, getting some direction for Q2, how you can leverage AI to amplify your business. But we're not getting so focused on the software. Software is going to change. What we're looking to do is integrate a framework. We want to go from random tools, experiments, solo prompts here and there, no measurable outcomes, one-off wins, to a clear 90-day plan. Repeatable workflows that you could use once, use again, measure the time saved and the cost saved, and then empower your team so that they can also use these tools as well. So tools don't transform a business, execution does. So our goal here is not to have you try to learn all these AI tools. I just saw an ad in my YouTube, I think this morning. They're like, here's become AI certified in just 15 minutes a day. Over the next 30 days, learn 30 different AI tools. No, no, is not really. You'll just know a few things that you do in a lot of different places. That's not what we're looking to accomplish. We want you to do more with what you already have. We want you to do more with your existing team, with your existing resources, and leveraging technology. I'll bring Manny in here because I know we were chatting about this just the other day, and Manny, you had a good point about this.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of times people are playing around with the different areas of the AI and going down rabbit holes. And both Ken and I, we've had this challenge too, where you see all these things changing. You want to look into it, and you spend 30 minutes turns into an hour. But then what you're realizing is it's not actually tied into your goals or what you're trying to achieve that day, and you're essentially spinning your wheels because whether it's looking for the right tool or just exploring, if I'm not actually moving something forward, it's time that's being wasted.
Thank you, sir. All right. So when we're looking at this, we want to look at it from new actions create a new reality. It's actions that will lead us forward, that will help us achieve our goals. And in order to do that, sometimes we first need to change our mind to how we're thinking about acting in our business. We're creatures of habit, right? We've had habits that we show up and we start our day a certain way. We run through our process in a certain way, but we've got a shift of how we're looking at things to really leverage this revolution the best way we can. How can we get AI working for us? So we're thinking that didn't come in the way I wanted it to, but whatever. So we have our mindset. Then we're going to be looking at AI tech. We want to be leveraging technology, but we want to follow it using a system so that we can get a consistent result. And we want to make sure that we're taking action to achieve lasting transformation. Because tools don't transform a business, execution does. So here is something that you could write down. We've got this can go in the worksheet. This is our 4D amplified AI approach. It's a repeatable loop for turning AI into real business outcomes. And the first step is diagnose. We want to diagnose to find where in your business could use the attention the most. We want to find the gaps. So if you're filling this out, you'd write diagnose. I'm going to go there real quick. You could write diagnose in step 1, or you can write it down on a piece of paper. And then you can write a prompt or write your thoughts on why would diagnosing where the most impact be worth taking the time to do. Where is the most impact you'd have by using AI? Don't just jump on and do the thing that's right there. Really looking, where's the most opportunity? Where would the most impact be? Diagnosing, finding the gaps. All right, so then next we go to design. So what has changed in the past, I guess, several months, year, is the AI tools went from asking a question, maybe it gives you a reply, so you can engineer agents, sometimes super agents, to do work for you. But in order to get it working for you, you need to know what that process is. You need to build the workflow. So it's building the workflow, designing what it is so that you can have AI working for you. So if you diagnose, you start with where do I need to focus first? Then we're going to design my plan. Then it's time to deploy it. Now, if you have a team, great. You can run it with a team. If you're a solopreneur, you can even run it yourself. But you deploy it so it gets put into action. What stops a lot of people here is this going to work? Is it right? Is it perfect? Overthinking can stop. So we need to make sure we put ideas into action. And then drive. Let this thing run. Measure its results. And then see what's working, see what might need to be tweaked, and then amplify, optimize it. By going through this process continually, each cycle compounds. You get better data, you get faster workflows, better leverage. And as mentioned earlier, one of the benefits here is it's not focused on what technology is available right now. It's a system for integrating technology for not only now, but for the future. So this is something about building momentum. Now, if you have a question, you're welcome to put questions in the chat. And what I'd actually ask, I'm going to just do a poll in the room. If we polled people in the room, if you'd be so brave as to share your feedback on a scale of 1 to 10 right now, when it comes to leveraging AI in your business, how would you assess your current level of usage? Where 1 is a what? And 10 is I've got super agents building and running my business for me. And 5 is like, yeah, kind of in the middle. So no judgment here. If you could share, put it in the chat where you're at, 1 to 10, 1, 10. Can't even improve if I wanted to. 5 about average. Thank you, Candy. So one of the quotes you'll hear me say time and time again is small hinges swing big doors. Small little changes over time can have a massive impact. And that's what I really like about this framework. I put Manny on screen and then I'm not even talking to him. Manny, where would you, if you had to give yourself a rating, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't want to rate myself. What would you say? You're muted.
It changes consistently, but I'd say I'm around 7 right now. It probably goes up and down. Like early on, I felt like I was, on the wave, but then so many new things come out, you start to back down. So I'd say 7 right now. So there's definitely room for growth. There's things that are working. So that's where I'd put myself.
No, I really love that you said that because it is a moving target in a bit. Because what is changing is technology. They introduce new things, new capabilities, and if you don't have a system to track how you're utilizing it, how to integrate it, and be effective with it, then it feels like what I'm just getting lost. And then all these different tutorials and different things that you could do with AI start shiny object syndrome. You start spending time learning how to do it, and then it's changed before you even integrated it. Really, so we want to quit chasing shiny objects. We want to start finding our AI gaps, and this is step one. We're going to diagnose. So where are your AI gaps? Before you begin automating anything, you really want to understand where the time and money actually leak. So we have a place for time. Where do you and your team lose hours every week? Oh, look at that. We've got a highlight. I've decreased time spent creating proposals from 4 to 5 hours per proposal and now do it in 20 minutes or less. Bravo! Way to go, Debbie. Money. Where are you paying for? What are you paying for? Where are you paying for work AI could draft or do for you? Decisions. Where are you slow because data lives in too many places? Aggregate information. In customers, where is response time hurting revenue or retention? So in our little worksheet, if you're tracking along, you can kind of reflect in those questions. I'll put them back on the screen in a minute. And then I'm a big fan of assessments. You see me do it all the time. If you connect with me, assessing where you're at, and then you work to make that micro adjustment step up. Um, it says priority, but it's like a priority score. So these are the questions. Time, where do you and your team lose hours every week? Where are you paying for work AI could draft or do? Where are you slow because data lives in too many places? And then where is response time hurting revenue or retention? Those are the questions. You can fill them out in your workbook. If you don't have the workbook, we can make sure you get it. All right. So then we're thinking about those things again because we want to prioritize and put first things first. We want to focus on the areas that would have the most impact. So I won't spend too much time here, but there are different areas in your business, and sometimes it's helpful to think about them if your business is running, right? And these are the pillars that we call the 5 key pillars. We have strategy and execution. Do you have your goals clearly defined? Do you have strategies written out for them? Are you executing them on a regular basis? Financial foundations. Are you tracking your numbers effectively? Are you making sure you've got plenty of cash flow? Are you being profitable? Why am I making sound effects? Team and synergy. Do you have the right people in the right seat taking the right actions? Is your team working together effectively? Do you have too much overlap? Not enough communication? Operations and systems. Do you have your workflows defined? Are they running smoothly? Do you have inefficiencies? Do you have technology that needs to be upgraded or improved? What's this pop noise I keep doing? Marketing and sales. Are you getting your message in front of your ideal prospects? Are you seamlessly and subtly moving them to become customers that pay, stay, and refer? And why I put these on screen is because you can look for the different areas of your business and say, where do I need to focus on first? What would have the most impact? And then when it comes to the different ways you can leverage AI, there are different levels. So I'm just going to look at strategy and execution for a quick moment. So for strategy and execution, There are some things that are easy to implement. You could begin with those. There are some things that are kind of intermediate, and there are some things that might be advanced. And you could start at the level where you're at. You may find that, hey, I'm really good in one area. I know a lot of the people that we connect with they've got their financial foundations in place because we do work with a lot of accountants, but maybe they need help in their team and synergy. Okay, so start where you're at. Here's some use cases, some that are easy, or is kind of having kind of a think tank, someone to think through some thoughts, weekly planning, competitive analysis summaries, summarizing meetings if you're not doing that already, getting an action plan from those meetings, turning meetings into task lists, setting some goals, using dashboards, getting an idea of how those raw metrics, what they're telling you. Those are some easy use cases for strategy and execution. We have mid-level. So you can have OKR or SMART goal, planning assistant, scenario modeling. What happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? Automated project plans from goals. And then advanced, you could have strategy agents, monitoring KPIs, recommending pivots, flagging risks automatically, execution agent, breaking goals into tasks, and then assigning into execution. And if you're not sure where you're at or how to put this into a plan, that's where we have business breakthroughs. So Manny and myself are both certified in AI, certified growth advisors, and our goal is to make friends with other advisors out there and become synergistic partners. Just bringing Manny on for a quick minute, and we'll keep on moving. So Manny, when it comes to partnering with other advisors, what do you like best about that idea?
I like that you can stay in your lane and really own something and be that expert, subject matter expert. And when you're working with someone like that, it's great because when you hear those keywords that trigger them, uh, you know that that's that person that you can go to, and you know that they're going to knock it out of the park. So I always enjoy connecting with other advisors, especially ones that know exactly who their ideal client is, exactly what value they bring, because it makes it really easy to refer them.
Yes. So we only focus on a couple areas, and we want to work with people that know their expertise and create win-win relationships. So we're going to move from step 1 to step 2, design. We're talking about designing the workflow, not the prompt. You may have noticed that once upon a time, not even that long ago, maybe like a year ago or so, you needed to kind of understand how to write prompts. You need to be able to write prompts in such a way where AI could work. And if you didn't write the prompt correctly, you would get a cruddy output. Shannon Ballman. Hey, Shannon. Good to see you. AI to create recap messages where we lay out client responsibilities, our responsibilities, and how long the project will take. Thank you for sharing, and glad to have you joining us. So we've got train of thought. Choot, choot. Where'd it go? We're talking about prompts. You don't need to write prompts as much anymore. You can speak to AI and communicate to AI in such a way where if you're giving it context and what role you want it to play, you're giving the input and a task to integrate, it can effectively work for you. So you need to define what are the inputs, what data, context, and examples does AI need, right? And then steps. What is the exact sequence that it would need to follow in order to get the outcome? Again, this can be overthought. You think, I don't know how all this is going to work. Start small, improve over time. Small hinges swing big doors. Owner, who is going to oversee it? Who's going to run it? Make sure it's working as needed. I'm always a fan of someone working with other people. So if you don't have an assistant helping you, you should have an assistant. Even though AI can do a lot for you, it's helpful to make sure that you have someone who's helping you push the buttons, keeping things moving. Having a coach or a guide that can help see your blind spot Even though AI can provide a lot of answers now, it doesn't always see the full context, doesn't always know your situation, even if you tell it a lot. And then what does the outcome look like when it's done? What is the end solution? So designing the workflow, not the prompt, is what we want to design. By planning it out, you can program technology to work for you, even while you sleep. And remember when I had that slide a little bit back that talked about mindset as the first place to start? I had a paradigm shift recently about this because I was using AI, using it with my clients, helping them use it, but I wasn't thinking as much about how can I get it working for me even when I sleep? How can I create it in such a way where it's running regularly? How can I help others do that? Had the paradigm shift. That's why we're here. Right. So step number 3, deploy. Getting it into teams' hands. You want to start by picking one workflow. Don't try to boil the ocean. Ship one end to end, right? So picking one workflow, starting small, and then there goes that sound again. I'm going to keep doing that apparently. Train the operator. So the person who owns it, know that they can keep it moving, know that they're keeping the ball running, making sure it is running to have a few iterations, real work, real outputs, real feedback. And then review. Say, what is working? What might need to be adjusted? Turn the win into an SOP that others can run. So start small and then go through time. Step 4, drive. Before I continue going on, I'm going to bring back Manny. Actually, I'm going to go through this and then I'll ask a question and bring Manny in. So measure what matters. If you measure it, you can amplify it. If you're paying attention to the actions that you're taking that will influence and produce the results you want, and the results you want, that's how you grow, right? So we want to pay attention to time. We could think about how much time are we saving per week by team, by workflow? How much cost are we freeing up or avoiding per month? That adds up. Small hinges swing big doors. Speed. How is our cycle time enhanced? We're saving time. We're getting things moved forward quicker. We're not losing opportunities because it took us too long to follow up. And then quality. We want to make sure that errors are reduced so that things are more efficient and effective. And we can make sure that we're looking at our net promoter score, how people are viewing our business, and if they're feeling comfortable with it and they feel like they're getting the benefit they want. So there's so many different ways it can help you. And Manny, I'll bring you back in and just kind of get you to weigh in on some of the things we just covered.
Yeah, so I really like the metrics there because, especially if you're working with a team, a lot of times you've got people that are like, hey, I want to dabble into AI, and that's awesome. But if you can really direct them to say, hey, let's look at these 4 areas, which area are you focused on, and let's measure what that outcome is, then you actually know that the impact it's having on the business. And I think that's a really great way to start out, getting your team involved. And then you can have those weekly check-ins where you're saying, hey, where are we at now, and what's our goal, and how are we moving it forward?
I'm glad you mentioned team again. Some people have teams, some people don't have teams. It's okay if you do, it's okay if you don't. Our vision, well, we've worked for the past several years, around the time since the pandemic, to put this framework into play. We call the Amplified Growth System. We just released this book earlier this year and excited about it. And this framework is powered by that. Okay. And we see it as systematic amplification. It's how you can systematically amplify in different areas of your business. Now, a moment ago, we looked at the different pillars: strategy and execution, financial foundations, team and synergy, operations and systems, marketing and sales. And then apparently I missed the prompt. Which area, if you were to focus in one area, which area would you want to focus on in quarter 2 to say, man, if I could really make some traction in this area, it would have the most impact on me. If you could chat that in, that would be great. Because the big thing that I'm seeing is the people that have clarity are the ones that are going to make momentum. When you have clarity of where you're at and where you want to go, you can build momentum. It's the overwhelm, it's trying to chase the shiny objects that can make you dizzy and hold you back. So I'm going to walk through your 6-week efficiency plan. We have a checklist, and you've seen the prompts for it. We're going to give you that checklist, which we're still refining a bit, but it's there, where you can implement this. We suggest 6 weeks because it's enough time to work through the process to make some real traction. It's not too long or it's overstretched, but it's not too short where you really can't put the time to it. So it starts off with week 1 is getting clarity. And we're starting to do that in this session right here. We're beginning to diagnose the gaps. The thought would be to pick one workflow, one place to start that would have the most impact. And you need to be clear on that. It's looking at the different pillars. It's looking in the different areas that you could improve your time and selecting that target really carefully, because you can spend a lot of time doing stuff that might be doing stuff, but it may not be what you want to be doing. So then week 2, if you have clarity, you've got a good understanding of where you're at, where you want to go. Week 2 is where you're building. You're not trying to get everything done at once. You're not trying to be the master of all trades. You're trying to get focused on building one workflow with one owner that would have the most impact. If you got to start with a minimum viable product, that's fine. And then weeks 3 through 6 is really driving it and running it to make sure it's working for you, it's getting better, and it's optimized. So then once you go through that process, you can continue to build into it. You can continue to add more. Technology is going to change, right? Capabilities are going to change, but the framework can remain consistent, helping you focus. Just like focusing, the rays of the sun can point a laser and cut through metal. So what you actually do week by week is, number 1 is get that clarity, begin setting up, defining priorities, building the plan. And we're starting to do that here, but it would probably be worth putting a little bit more time thinking through that. Measure twice, cut once. Week 2, pick one workflow, define inputs, steps, owner, and output. So you're really defining what that process needs to be. Step 3, you're launching it, deploy, right? Measuring and improving. Look at that. Say deploy live. Running some tests and then deploy live. Track the time saved every day. Iterate fast. Week 5, you're expanding. You can add a second use case. And then number 6, you're integrating and scaling, continuing the next focus. All right, so it's crawl, walk, run in digestible bites. Digestible bites? I don't know what I'm saying sometimes. All right, so I want you to pick one. And if you could, think about which workflow might be right for you. You can always change it. We're just trying to think through it. Here are some filters that you may want to think through. Is number 1, do you do it on a regular basis? Is it frequent? If you only do it once a year, it's probably not where to start. Number 2, does it resolve some pain? Is not doing it causing you pain because it's eating a lot of time or money, so it's worth automating? Number 3, it's bounded. It's clear enough to where you can actually systemize it. If it's not, then you could spend a lot of time and it may not be systemizable. And then can someone on the team own it? You don't need a committee, you just need a focus. Meaning, you have a thought you'd like to add?
Yeah, a lot of times these ideas can seem abstract, and I did want to share. Deborah had mentioned that she's got a workflow that files sales tax for clients each month, and it saves a good amount of time per month. But the big thing that she mentions here is the hundreds of hours that it saves end of month and end of year. So that's one of the things that a lot of times we forget is, hey, maybe it's only saving you a little bit of time now, but as that compounds over time, imagine all the accumulated time that you're saving.
Yes. Thank you, Manny. So we want to see progress. And hello to everyone, and thanks for your support and showing up today. By the way, it's kind of like being at a wedding where you have all your friends, and then you're trying to like say hi to everyone, but you're trying to focus on being in the wedding too. So I appreciate everyone's support and being here. Some of the common gaps we see when it comes to AI: sales follow-ups not getting sent on time, customer questions answered slowly or inconsistently, onboarding documents written from scratch every time, proposals taking days instead of hours. Debbie Dangerfield, way to go. Really expediting that process. Reports built by hand from scattered data. Meeting notes that never become action. Man, that's a big pet peeve for me. Been a part of a lot of meetings, and a lot of times when I'm just getting to know a team will meet, they'll talk about stuff, they'll say all these things that need to be done, and they say, all right, and they go on. Big stickler for make sure it's being tasked, have a clear date, and who's doing what. That's a good tip. So if you've done two of these, you have your first workflow, thinking about what you want to do. Again, you could change it after this, but I want you to just get something in mind. Get something in mind. So 3 quick answers. Where is the biggest leak in your week? Where's the biggest time leak in your week? That can be a way to think of, if I can get this one thing automated, simplified, streamlined, that would give me some time back. Which one workflow, if AI ran it, would change your month? Again, sometimes people might have a little bit of uncertainty, a lot of ideas swimming around in their minds. That's where we gladly will connect with our clients, and even people that we don't have as clients. We do offer a complimentary amplified business breakthrough where we can help get clarity of something that's important to you, so you're taking new actions and achieving new results. Number 3, what is the one next step action you'll take from here? So do you need to diagnose further? Do you have clarity on where to put the focus? Is it outlining the workflow? What is the next step action? And you can see this little icon here. That means it is a place you can write your next step action. Hooroo! Hooroo! So I encourage you, a lot of people I work with can get overwhelmed by a lot of ideas. That happens to me from time to time. It's okay. I encourage you, even if you don't know for certain what exactly you want to do, write something down regardless that you will commit to do, even if it's, I'm going to assess my stuff, right? And what good looks like at the end of week 6. Even if all you did is add one workflow that's live, that's owned, that's measured, that's saving you hours per week, every week, one system integrated so that you don't have to keep on chasing shiny objects. You're not going to put time to it unless it's actually resolving an issue in your business, and you're having your team or even AI agent working for you, producing the results. This is the floor, not the ceiling. Now, this is a tool that we've recently put together, and it's an ROI calculator. And if you're like, Kenny, you haven't shown me this tool, I'm your client, it's because we were just developing it. But it's a tool that will help you map out the different tasks that you have assign a cost to it, and then assign the amount that you can save. And if you're like, man, I would really like to help guide my clients to use this, well, that's great, because we want to help you guide your clients to use it too. That's why we're designing a framework. It's something that's repeatable. It's a framework that's not going to change. It's a systematic way to integrate. And since we're in the middle of a revolution, we realized that we had to shift and upgrade our framework to integrate the revolution that's going on. So it's beginning to calculate ROI, and you can do that. So let's make sure before we go further that we're avoiding these 4 common mistakes that will kill AI plans. Number 1, trying to do everything at once, trying to be on all these different platforms, chasing shiny objects, trying to implement everything. It's going to be too much. It's overwhelming. It'll dilute your focus. Not having clear ownership. So if you're the person who owns it, then you know that. If you have team members, you can assign different responsibilities to different people. You can empower them. Baby steps. If you're not measuring it, right, you do a lot of things, but if you don't track the time, if it happened, if you're getting the result, and then just jumping from one thing to another is going to kill momentum. So we want to avoid these things. We want to make sure that we're focused, taking focused action. So remember to stay at the end. We're going to have the 4D AI playbook that will document this process. I'll just kind of show that real quick. It's pretty cool. It shows the different pillars, some use cases, recommendations for prioritization, and the 30-day jumpstart checklist. It's pretty cool stuff. I like it. So what we just covered, the shift, we got to go from AI tools to AI execution. The approach, we have the 4D approach: diagnose, design, deploy, and drive. Number 3, the plan: 30 days clarity, 30 days of build, 30 days of scale. Since we're in a quarter, that's typically what we do. We kind of lost a month, so you might need to expedite that a bit. There is enough time to go through this process and even start repeating it. The filter: pick one frequent thing that causes you pain, that is systemizable, that can be owned. And then the proof: you have a live workflow, you track the time saved, it's documented, it's repeatable, right? So hopefully that gives you a perspective change. I know these thoughts have given me a perspective change. I'm going to be amplifying my business and doubling down and riding this revolutionary wave. And those that want to join me, I invite you to do it. But I want you to know that commitment is the foundation to great accomplishments. And what I would ask you to do, I mean, if you put this in the chat, what tends to happen is we come to things like this, we get ideas, right? And then we get distracted by the whirlwind, the things that distract us from our attention. And then we had an intention, but we didn't follow through. So I'm asking you to fill out this form. It's a really simple form. And it's just going to ask you for your name, your contact information. Chances are that's going to automatically be filled out already. But then what is your next step action commitment? While you could put it in the chat, I'd like for you to fill out the form, because then it goes into our system, and then we'll make sure that we give you the 4D AI playbook, and we'll also have follow-up accountability. You can scan the QR code, you can click the link, and we want to respect everyone's preferences on this. It's a quick action. Even if you change it, like if you like fill it out and you're like, oh, after thinking about it, I changed it. That's okay. We just want to make sure a week from today, you've taken new actions so you can begin achieving new results. When you fill out the commitment form, you'll be redirected to our AI Jumpstart, which I'm getting ready to share more information on. because we've done this for some time now. This is not our first rodeo. And we've put on virtual events like this so that we can connect with other people, provide value, build relationships. However, as you know, if you've ever put on your own events on, there's a lot of people that show up, they hear things, but then they get busy in their whirlwind and they don't do anything. We do not want that for you. We'd like you to at least take a new action so you can achieve a new result. Some people may hear the ideas and say, hey, look, I've got some good ideas. I'm going to apply them. I'm going to put them into action. We've given you the guidance and we'll give you the playbook. And it is a process, a framework that you could use to follow and really leverage this time, this revolution. Focus on it, repeat that cycle, be in a completely different spot, even by the end of quarter two. However, there's some people that may want additional help. If you didn't see this coming, you didn't realize I'm an amplifier. So this is for those who are seeking to jumpstart the progress. You might be saying, is he getting ready to try to sell something? I am getting ready to share something. But if you're not looking for that help, if you don't want the additional resources, then don't worry. I'm not trying to push anything to anyone. I'm an amplifier, so if I see something that'll be of value, I'm going to share it. And we'll tell my clients, because I knew at least a couple people on here I work with, if you're a client, you're automatically going to get access to this information and resources. So if you're a member of our stuff, you're going to get access to these things. If you're not, we could have a conversation. You could join in, but no pressure if it's not for you. So I'm going to go through this real quick. I'm not aiming to be salesy, but I do want to communicate the value because we put it together and I really feel like it can help people transform their business and avoid the overwhelm that I know I've felt. I know many other clients I work with have felt, and we're calling it 6-week AI Jumpstart. It's designed to help people experience systematic amplification. So improving systematically, not just all over the place. Here's what's included if you have interest. We're going to be doing 6 live sessions. We have a community. We're going to go through the steps that we discussed: diagnose, design, deploy, and drive. We're going to offer personalized strategy sessions to make sure that we understand what people's goals are. We can identify any blind spots, bottlenecks, and untapped opportunities, and we could design a path that's going to be a success. We have, I know, yet another new book. We've taken our first book that I produced earlier this year, and we've integrated the AI components that we'll be releasing here in the next month or so. And it's the 4D Amplified AI Approach book. It documents the framework. It's step-by-step, it's easy to follow, and it's adaptable to all the updates AI will have. It's not like it's going to be outdated a year from now because it's a framework for integration. We're going to have the book on Amazon, an Audible book for people who want to listen, or the Kindle Digital. You get all of them. So choose the one you like. If you like to read it while you listen, like I do, for good books, you can do that. And our Business Development Center, which has tools, templates, and actionable resources. We're trying to choose the best tools and templates that are actionable, reduce the overwhelm, so we're focusing on the things that will actually have impact. Now, special launch offer. This is the first time we have introduced this new offer. You can scan the QR code if you'd like to check it out. It includes the 6 live implementation sessions, personalized strategy session, 4D Amplified AI Approach book, access to the Business Development Center, which is over 5K of impact. If you implement this system and you don't save 5K of impact, you can get a refund, because we wanted to make sure it's working for you, and that is what we really want to do. Oop, I just skipped over the investment. $14.97. So again, if you're a client, know that that's going to be included in being a client. But wait, there's more. And I'm being mindful of time, so I'm wrapping up here quickly. We are also producing a workbook that you could fill out. Some people like writing it, and our tracker. so that you can track your progress. This is a really cool tracker, by the way. You can track each step to make sure that you're getting it done and not falling off, and making sure you're integrating it and you really master this process. It's a really cool tracker, and we're including that because we really want to make sure that people who are using it are getting the benefit. Our AI library for the 5 key business pillars. So for all of the business pillars, we're going to share the case studies for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Again, these frameworks are going to work regardless of the software. We're talking about frameworks for transformation, not just the latest tech capabilities. And our ROI calculator so that you can track your results, make sure that you're moving the needle. And if you're an advisor, you can use these systems with your clients as well. So it's the sessions, the strategy session, the book, business development center, the workbook and tracker, plus the AI library and the ROI calculator, over 10K of impact. I'm confident about that. If you're leveraging AI like this, it's over 10K of impact. And my face is covering this. So we give special only $9.97 or 3 payments, $338. We have a stellar record. We do what we say we're going to do. We commit to it. And I appreciate everyone's business who have been with me on their journey thus far. It's where I devote my life to learn things, to share, to help others achieve what's important to them. As mentioned earlier, we do have a money-back guarantee. Our commitment is if you follow the 6-week AI Jumpstart, you'll have the framework for your AI transformation. You'll have AI working for you. If not, give you a full investment back. We want to make sure that you're successful with it. We're not here to sell things to sell things. We're here to cultivate transformation. So if you want to get some direction, this training was aiming to help you do that. We're going to share the AI playbook, which has some things that you could do. If you want to implement it and integrate it, and maybe coach other people through it, we invite you to the 6-week Jumpstart. Clarity without action doesn't change anything. So regardless of if you want to join us, which will be starting, I think May 12th is when that's going to start. It's not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that. Some can be live, but we'll have it recorded so people can work through it at their own time. Really focused, not a lot of heavy lifting, not a lot of learning, mainly just putting things into action. That's when we'll do it. We do, as mentioned, have it right now set up for the 1 payment. Our clients are getting it as being a member of our clients. If you want to integrate it and teach other people to do it, we'd love to help you learn how you can sell it and generate revenue from it as well. Our goal here is not to make sales. Our goal here is to cultivate transformation. Manny has put the link in the chats. I'm hoping if you know me, you know that my intention here is not to push sales on people. It's to be an amplifier. So with that being said, I would like to kind of pull Manny back on stage for a minute. And if you have questions, we'll hang around for a minute. And if you don't have questions, if you can share what is the one idea that you thought was the most valuable from this session. If you got an idea and you said, like, that's something I hadn't thought of before, or I like that particular exercise or framing, if you could share that, that would be greatly helpful. And if you have questions, you're welcome to chat in. We'll be hanging around for just a couple more minutes. Meaning curious to get your thoughts.
I love the kind of 6-week jumpstart. a lot of times we have the best intentions, and the hardest thing is to follow through. And the easiest person to let down is yourself. We always make excuses for things. And right now, everyone knows that AI is super important. And every minute and day that you're not getting that on board, you're falling a little bit further behind. So I think having the group aspect, having accountability of you and I think it's a really big thing to help get people get traction. And I'm sure, Kenny, you're probably going to do the same thing as we're going through this. We're going to be doing it for ourselves because we know the value of this program, and it's something that you can not just do once, but go through it several times where you're adding on and building on what you started.
Thank you, Manny Torres. I see Debbie Dangerfield. Thank you, my dear. What are some things that you have done, and then it moved, with AI in your own business? So one of the things we've done, if we've helped other people who are looking to highlight their visibility and expertise. In the past, we used to do book workshops. We did a lot of those in person, and we'd help them think through what are the things that they want to communicate. How do they want to share their ideas and the value that they provide, and guide people from being interested in what they're saying to, I probably need this person's help. So we used to do those workshops, but a lot of that stuff was having to be done manually, and we'd have to use a transcription software. We did questions. We had editors. It was a big production. Now we've been able to systemize that with AI, and last year we helped produce a few different books. Not just like saying AI write this thing, because that's just going to put something that really isn't meaningful. But what are your thoughts? What are your ideas? What are your stories? What are your case studies? How is that created in such a way that can help someone see things differently? How is it going to inspire people to take new actions and achieve new results? And so that process is something that we've done, and leveraging technology, and we've been helping people tell their stories in a way, whether it's physical, and then some people will read it and have an audible book. They're using it to gather marketing. So that's something that we've done that has been helpful. See.
Yeah. Thanks, Candy, for stopping by.
Thank you.
And then Deborah said her takeaway was track the ROI, which I think is a really important thing because it's the bottom line. And I want to make sure that these actions are moving the needle.
And different things to track, right? Sometimes it is money. Sometimes it could be time, or in like what you're getting out of your own enjoyment of your business. I'm not going to name names here, but I know someone that owns a nice, successful CPA firm, but had such a cruddy tax season. They're questioning selling it and living in a van down by the river. And if your business makes you really not enjoy life, then maybe you need to change it. You're the captain of your ship. You want to design a business that works for you, gives you the life that you want. And I know that's when I'm working with people, sometimes that's where we're focusing, is helping to create a vision and a plan towards adjusting their business in a way that's going to serve their heart, right?
Yeah, I want to comment here. Deborah mentioned AI development really does take time. It's not a snap of the fingers. And that's really true. So I love using I think it's the one thing quote. It's like, think big, but start small. So, you don't have to build something super complex, get your legs under you, start with something simple, and then you can build on that. And the other thing I want to bring to the table is you don't have to do it yourself. If you got someone on your team that's really savvy with tech, you can have them be the person that owns that. You can find a specialist or someone else to come and support your business because, sometimes it's not going to be your superpower. So being able to leverage those people around you and other professionals is where you can get the most out of it.
Yes. Small hinges swing big doors. The big thing that we were continually seeing a lot of people running into right now is just overwhelm, jumping from one thing to the next shiny object, And as soon as they think they have one thing figured out, it changes, and then they're feeling overwhelmed again. And so, what we aim to cultivate is changing the mindset, to change the habits, to leverage the long tested idea of creating systems, but then now using technology as a new layer so the business can actually work with you. There are people on the top of that wave who are designing and leveraging AI to have their business running for them. And we've been using it as a tool to help with some efficiency, but this is the shift that we're looking to make. So we'll be wrapping up. If you do have questions, feel free to reach out. If you're interested in just getting a fresh perspective on seeing some blind spots, bottlenecks, or untapped opportunities in your business, we do offer the complimentary Amplified Business Breakthrough. And we do that as a way to share the value that we provide, build relationships. As mentioned, we are looking for people that may want to help others leverage this framework as well. And we know that by helping our connections and building good relationships, that's how we can amplify. So, Manny, as we're looking to close for the moment, what are your Springer's final thought?
Springer's final thoughts is, I know this group, it seems like everyone's already kind of dove in, but I've definitely seen people that are a little reluctant or scared. And my thing would be just start, whatever it is, however small or large, just give it a try and you'll see it's not as bad as it looks, and you'll build that confidence and it'll help you grow.
Thank you, Manny Torres. My final thought is remember why you're in it to win it. Remember what's really important to you. What is your motivator? If you haven't tuned into that for a while, take a moment to step back and reflect on why you're in it to win it. What is your bigger purpose? When you wake up in the morning, what energizes you to step up, get into your day, get juiced, get jonesed, get amplified? Keep fueled, keep focused. And if any of this resonates with you and you'd say, man, it would be great to find a way to collaborate, we're looking for those relationships as well. So don't hesitate to reach out, be proactive. You are the captain of your ship. Take bold actions, achieve bold results. Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone's support. We will now commence.